the Washington Commanders. Guys, most of the season, I have not been on the Washington Commanders train. Let's just be flat out honest. Every time I wanted to jump on that train, they gave me a reason to jump off, right? Whether it's losing to the Baltimore Ravens, whether it's losing to the Philadelphia Eagles, whether it's not beating a lot of very good teams, right? Let's just be honest. They did not play a lot of competitive football this particular season. They were actually 1-4 versus playoff teams so far this season. Their lone win coming versus a hurtless Philadelphia Eagles team back in week 16 or 17, I believe it was. But the Washington Commanders, guys, did upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a doink field goal to end the game 23-20. The Bucs had some big mistakes, and they could not capitalize on the Washington Commanders' mistakes. But rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels balled out. Actually balled out all season long. I want to put my revote in for the Rookie of the Year and take it back from Brock Bowers and give it to Jaden Daniels, but playoff games don't matter. Jaden Daniels, guys, last night went 24 for 35 for 268 yards and 2 touchdowns. He actually accounted for over 85% of the Washington Commanders' total offense last night. He has been putting up better QBR numbers than anyone in nut crunch time all season long. What is nut crunch time? 4th down, 3rd downs versus the blitz, when trailing. Guys, the Commanders finished the regular season with 12 wins for the first time since 1991. You Washington Commanders fans, what happened in 1991? Y'all won the Super Bowl. So is 2024 NFL season a repeat of 1991? Guys, have we been overlooking the Washington Commanders all season long? That is the question. And the biggest drawback, like I said, for the Washington Commanders, guys, all season long is, yeah, they're winning, but who have they played? Yeah, they won, but who have they played? Yeah, they won 9 games, but who have they played? Yeah, they won 10 games, but who have they played? Yeah, they won 12 games. They're 1-4 versus playoff teams, right? That has been my drawback for the Washington Commanders all season long. But then they go back and they go into Tampa and revenge their opening week 1 loss with the playoff win, knocking Baker Mayfield and the boys out. Guys, the Washington Commanders all season long has been a really, really good team. I have been overlooking them all season long. They have a 7th ranked overall offense. They have the 3rd ranked rushing attack. They have the 13th overall defense and the 3rd ranked passing defense. Guys, I understand that the Detroit Lions, they feel this is their best draw, right? They didn't want to play the Rams. They didn't want to play the Vikings. They didn't want to play the Packers in their first game. Let's just be totally honest. They wanted to play the Washington Commanders. But we have been overlooking the Washington Commanders all season long. I don't know how much more cut blank I can say it. Guys, the Washington Commanders are a good team. Are they a great team? Slow it down. Are they a Super Bowl team? Slow it down. Offensive line is still suspect. Defense is pretty good. Wide receiving core is getting better. That guy that balled out last night was at number 5. Good Lord, right? Good Lord. But guys, the Washington Commanders are a team that I would love to jump on the bandwagon right now. The Washington Commanders are a team that I would love to jump on the bandwagon right now. But I can't. I can't. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Is it because of Dan Quinn's inability to win a championship game, winning 28-3? Is it the fact that they have a rookie quarterback? Is it the fact that I'm a passive Dallas Cowboys fan and I'm growing up to hate the Washington Commanders? I don't know. But for some reason, I am not sold on the Washington Commanders 100%. Have I overlooked them? 100%. Have I doubted them all season long? 100%. Did I expect them to win a playoff game? No. Was I shocked that they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? 100%. So guys, let me ask you this question. Have we been overlooking the Washington Commanders as a general man-hour nation? If you're watching this show right now, you are part of the man-hour nation. Whether you're a pigskin pundit or not, you are part of the man-hour nation. Have we been overlooking the Washington Commanders? And I say yes, we have. Yes, we have. I know why. They're 1-4 versus playoff teams. Their lone win came to the Philadelphia Eagles week 16 when Jalen Hurts wasn't in there. They got beat by the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, it is stuff. But am I a believer, says Bowdy Banks? I am not a believer in them. I do not think that they will beat the Detroit Lions. I think they might give the Detroit Lions a little bit of run for their money in the first quarter. But playing the way they played last night, being one-dimensional, sole offense going through Jaden Daniels is not a recipe to beat the Detroit Lions. You need to be able to run the ball, which they didn't last night. Although they are third in the NFL in rushing most of the season. Last night, I don't know if they just forgot or the Green Bay Packers defense is just that good. Or not the Green Bay Packers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I'm not a believer in them. I overlooked them, but I'm not a believer of them. Gary Nelson's in the chat. What's up, Gary? Gary is a LA Chargers fan, so definitely feel for you, Gary. But he says, I think the media is trying super hard to give Herbert a chip on the shoulder for next season. He's not the elite quarterback, but I tell you, next year he better have the season of his life. We'll be talking about Justin Herbert coming up very, very shortly there. Gary, I don't know if you... It's not in this rundown, so it is in hour number 2. So about 30 minutes, we'll be talking about Justin Herbert. So stay tuned for that. Casey Morgan says, was only good game until tonight's game, but I don't think the Commanders will make it past the next round. And Casey, last night was a very exciting game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers missed on some big opportunities, fumbling the ball, snapping the ball when nobody moved, that kind of thing, a couple drop passes. It was a very, very good game. But I guess the question that we need to ask ourselves, were the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just tired? Were they just like, man, we battled all season long to get here. This should be an easy win. Now we have to battle. Screw it, right? Or are the Washington Commanders really that good? Young and hungry and all this other stuff? I don't know. I'm not buying the Commanders. I have overlooked them, though. John says Bo Nix is Rookie of the Year. No, he's not. No, he's not. Casey says it's a Chargers thing. They always put on the podium in on the offseason and predicted to make the Super Bowl favorite. They're like season never come out year. We'll be talking about the Chargers. Alpha Rob says, what is a commander anyways? The leader of the pack. He's a commander. He is leading you to the promised land. He is leader of men or leader of people. Leader of them, they. Jameson says Washington will lose to Detroit. And Jameson, I think you're correct. I think you are correct. They might pull at Denver Broncos versus the Detroit Lions, right? Score on the first drive, like, oh, crap, and then get their asses whooped. But that is not to say that we have not overlooked them, right? Hell, I want to say, was it week 15, week 14? Early December, I'm going to say it would not shock me if this team would miss the playoffs, right? I mean, I was kind of on that bandwagon. I'm like, I'm not sold on this team. They may not even make the playoffs. And here I am eating crow. Not only did they make the playoffs, they beat my Super Bowl favorite, honestly, or the team that I thought was going to do the most upsetting work in the playoffs, aka beating the Detroit Lions or the Philadelphia Eagles, and beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So as I do agree with you, Jameson, that they will lose to Detroit, and the Detroit Lions will probably beat them pretty handily, still doesn't beg the difference that we have overlooked them. I'm just saying, I feel like I've overlooked them. And Jim says, no, we have not overlooked them. They beat Tampa. Tampa Bay was a good team, though, Jim. Tampa Bay was a playoff team that the Philadelphia Eagles did not want to see. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a playoff team that the Detroit Lions did not want to see. Now that the Washington Commanders beat them, does that mean the Washington Commanders are a team that you don't want to see? Answer to that question is no, but I could see people try to start pulling that narrative, right? So, Jameson says Philadelphia will beat the Minnesota Vikings or the Rams. So that means that we have a Detroit Eagles NFC Championship game, more than likely. But yeah. John says Detroit is going to dog walk the Commanders. I agree. Alpha Rob says I am not a believer in the Commanders. So let me ask you this, Alpha Rob. because you seem to me the most level-headed NFL fan out there, right? Like, you hate everybody